Attention, this is your final chance to get this exclusive Trash Taste merch. There's 1 week left to get it, so go to trashtaste.co to get some of these amazing items. What do we have, boys?
My fellow denim jacket wearers, we finally made a denim jacket just for you.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Embroidered there. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Great quality, Garnt. And you're rocking one of the t-shirts as well.
I am.
I'm rocking one of the other t-shirts, and Connor is rocking the beautiful sweatshirt right here.
Yeah, let me show you.
Look how clean that is. Look how clean it is in the back. Look at that. Look at that. Sheesh.
Yeah, we also got hoodies. Well, you can see right here in the back, we've got hoodies.
Ooh, clean. But again, as Connor mentioned, you only have 1 week left. After that week, it is gone forever. Don't complain. We gave you a warning. So make sure to go over to trashtaste.co. Links in the description. Get it now before it's all gone.
That's trashtaste.co.
Get the merch.
LeBron James. What kind of a name is LeBron?
We have like white names. You all have white names.
I don't have a white name.
That's like cursive Grant. What do you mean? That's that's super white.
So Grant.
My
At least
name.
you're not named after a dictator like me.
we gotta Google it. No way. Okay, dictator.
If you look up famous Josephs in the world.
Let's is Garnt name origin. That sounds
It's gonna
white
say,
as fuck.
did you mean Grant?
Yeah, it's gonna say, did you mean Grant?
Okay, the first thing that comes up is why Garnt?
Why Garnt?
Giga
Why?
real name explained. Okay, it's a nickname. Okay, all right. Well, let's.
Why does the name Gaunt? What does the name Gaunt mean?
Let's have a look. It's like
Well, it's
no one knows.
well, it's a Thai name, and it's not pronounced.
User submitted origin: 67% Thai, 30% Filipino.
No way.
Oh, Southeast Asian.
Alternative meaning. God is an acronym for grand, for the life that you'll live. A, for accepting your forgiving nature. R, for romp, you know how to have fun. N, for nurturing, the care you provide to all. T, for treat. You always are.
You're a real treat.
Well, I just thought Garnt just sounds so incredibly white. I just thought it was a white name.
I think, do you know, okay, would it still...
Classic white people.
Okay.
Everything.
Wait, have we started?
Yeah, we've started at this point.
Okay, recording. Okay. Hello, welcome to Trash Taste. You got some pre-talk there, I guess.
Is Garnt a white name?
Is Garnt a white name?
It sounds white. Like, you got to admit, it sounds white.
I would argue
One of the whitest men on earth is named Grant. Hugh Grant. That sounds white as fuck.
But that's Grant, not Gaunt.
That's it. It's like one letter different. You know what I mean?
And the fact that it's pronounced like Grant, you know, Garnt is it's a different like pronunciation. Would it still sound white if I remove the T?
Gone.
Yeah.
No, you'd sound like a Final Fantasy character.
So yeah,
Grandes.
So interesting fact. So my name isn't actually like Garnt.
Oh my God.
So
It's actually Grant. So we figured it out.
Yeah. So the Thai pronunciation of my name is Gan. So the reason there's a T at the end is because when translating like the Thai alphabet to English alphabets, the T in Garnt is technically a silent T. So my parents included that. My parents did a direct translation instead of phonetic translation for my name when translating when spelling it out in English. So the T is meant to be silent, but of course, you can't really explain that.
Your name would have been really different if you were called Gone.
That would have changed
This
everything.
would have been a different podcast.
Hello,
Joey,
my name is
Connor, and
Gone.
Gone.
But
like,
now
whoa.
that I say it, it just something sounds wrong. You know, there's the T just like the T closes it. You know, it's,
You need a hard T at the end of that.
Yeah.
Gone.
you need a hard T. But yes, hello, welcome to this episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, Garnt. And with me are the two whitest named boys, except Joey, of course, isn't white. I'm sorry, Joey.
Well, he's a white name.
I'm half white.
You're half
He's
white.
got a white name, though.
Yeah. Joseph is a white name.
Joey,
That would have been another different podcast if my name was Joseph. Gone, Connor, and Joseph.
But yes, can I start with the rant?
Oh, God.
With a good old fashioned rant, a good old fashioned tangented rant that has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but this has been on my mind for like the past week.
Okay, wow, you've been really stewing this over.
Yeah, I have, because I think I've had enough. I fucking despise Cards Against Humanities. And I don't know if I've talked about this before. Maybe I have mentioned this, but I think I've reached a breaking point where I can't take this anymore.
No one plays that anymore.
What?
You'd be surprised because
what triggered this? Did you play it recently?
Yes.
When?
Yeah. Okay. For the record, I've always hated Cards Against Humanities. I think the only time I've ever had fun with it was like
Isn't
maybe
humanity.
Yeah, I think it's humanity.
Okay.
There's only one humanity.
Which humanity?
Not enough humanity.
He's from a different planet.
Yeah. Is it Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah, it's just humanities.
Okay. I made videos on it. No,
Okay. I think the only time I've ever had fun with it was like the very first time I played it, and then every time afterwards, I've grown to like hate it more and more. It went from like just a disdain to like every fucking. Okay, number one, for some reason. Why is it the only times I get to play Cards Against Humanity is like anime conventions? Cards Against Humanity for the longest time for me was like the anime convention game.
Well, because it's for like wannabe like kind of edgelords.
It makes sense. It's for people who want to be funny but can't think of their own punchlines.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, but then there's also like the online of the blank cards, right?
Yeah.
So it was always just about being edgy.
Yeah.
And like who could make the edgiest joke that was
Do you
funny.
want to win with a blank card? Just put in any like horrible slur and you'll most likely win. It's like that's comedy.
See, that's not what I don't even like about it, because this is every interaction I've had with Cards Against Humanity. I'm at a party or something, or a gathering with some cool friends that I very much vibe with. We are on a vibe, we're talking shit, we're making jokes.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time. And then someone fucking pulls out Cards Against Humanities. I keep saying humanities. Someone pulls out Cards Against Humanity because apparently we just weren't having enough fun just vibing together and making jokes naturally. And they're like,
I'm impressed they managed to get everyone to be like, yeah, let's do it.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Everyone, I seem like I've always thought I'm the fucking crazy one here. I think I always think
it's like Garnt's Joker speaking.
I
said I was crazy. I didn't want to play the card games.
I always thought I was the crazy one because everyone would be like, okay, yeah, I'm down for Cards Against Humanity, and I thought I was the only one that was like, I am
told
not.
me it was a humanity with a Y. I said no.
I am not against Cards Against Humanity, and the thing is,
I'm just against humanity.
Yeah, I'm just against humanity. This is my villain origin story. If someone pulls out another game of Cards Against Humanity while I'm vibing, I am literally going to go on like a full-on Joker rant and just start my villain arc, right? Because it's just like they pull it out, and I've never encountered a situation where someone just goes, no, I'm not in the mood, right? Because I've said before, I'm not in the mood, and I'm the only motherfucker who says that. And I say that, but everyone else starts playing, so I'm like, well, I don't want to be. I have to play because I don't want to be left out in the corner by myself, being alone or whatever. So for the next like hour or 2 hours, I have to sit there and pretend that I'm having fun, as much fun as everyone else, because I have to pretend that all of these jokes that are being laid out in front of me are as funny as everyone else is apparently finding it. Because people are laughing, and I'm like, am I fucking crazy? Is this just not funny?
I think the problem with Cards Against Humanity is that especially a lot of the jokes written on it and like the punchlines and stuff like that haven't aged tremendously well.
Yeah.
They're very much like 2010s humor, which is crazy to say.
Also, it was a lot more fun when you online, because you could just make your own custom decks.
Yeah.
And you can make it updated because the base deck is so bad.
The base deck is so boring.
Yeah. I mean, and also like this was popular in like 2012, like 10 years ago. This game is definitely.
But okay, here's the thing. You can make the argument that he hasn't aged well as well, right? But I have the same emotions and feelings towards Jackbox, and it's specifically Quiplash, which I think is
some of the Jackbox
trivia
games,
ones are really.
The trivia ones are good. I like the trivia ones, but as soon as Quiplash comes on,
which one's Quiplash again?
It's the word association game. So
I hate that one.
the fill in, like you it's basically Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
But you fill in the blanks yourself.
Like that
it sucks that they bring it back every single fucking Jackbox.
Yeah. And you think it would be funny until someone realizes, right? Here's what I hate about it, because once you play it once, you figure out what the rules of the game are, right? And if there's one thing that is not funny to me, it's when humor just feels constructed and unnatural, right? Because that's exactly what Cards Against Humanity and now Quiplash has always felt to me. Because even though you can put anything in Quiplash, when that one mate realizes all you need to do is to put that in-joke that the group know about, everyone starts putting that in, and then that's like all it takes is just one of those answers where everyone's like, haha, you referred to that one time we all did this stupid thing, or that person did that stupid thing. Once that answer gets put down, that ruins the entire game of Quiplash, because every answer is that answer.
And if it doesn't come up, then it's usually like the fucking stupidest pee-pee poo-poo jokes.
I like the presentation ones too that you have to do in Jackbox. You have to present something. I always like those as well. Like the patently stupid one. You have to make a painting. From, that one's good. I like some of the games, but Quiplash is the one I don't really ever want to play.
Yeah, and because like it's just, to me, that's Cards Against Humanity 2.0. And I feel
there are so many clones of that game too, like everywhere. I remember like I was at a friend's place and they brought out this card game. It's called That's What She Said. And it literally is exactly the same as Cards Against Humanity, except all of the punchlines are your mom jokes. And I'm like, I was blown away. I was like, you've somehow managed to make a Cards Against Humanity clone that's even less funny than Cards Against Humanity.
Oh my God.
It was hell. It was the worst 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because I don't want to say that, unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't funny. But if there's one way to make someone unfunny, it's by playing Cards Against Humanity, because there is a lot of points where, I'm hanging out with a funny person, or, we're cracking jokes. And then as soon as Cards Against Humanity comes up, that just like completely nerfs the interaction, right? And I don't know, it's, I always feel like every time it gets put out, I'm that guy who just hates fun. I'm like, am I the crazy one here? Because I've wanted to rant about this for so long because I've always felt like, am I just the one old granddad who just hates watching people have fun?
Well, no, because you can have fun in other ways.
Like, hold on. There's a difference between hating someone having fun and just stepping
hating a
out.
card game.
Being like, hey, I'm good on this one. You guys play without me.
Yeah.
I don't get pissed. I'm not like, you fucking assholes. I said no. Why are you having fun without me?
I'm like, how fucking dare you have fun at this card game? This is what you're having fun at.
We could have had any other card game except this one.
Pathetic.
It is like the worst card game. I feel like there's like Solitaire is better.
Yeah.
I just all play.
I think I'd rather play Solitaire.
Actually, because the good thing is at least you can banter in Solitaire. You can't really banter in like Cards Against Humanity is on paper a game you should be able to banter about, but it's all just the equivalent of laughing at pee-pee poo-poo jokes in my mind, and just like a bit more sophisticated pee-pee poo-poo jokes.
The worst is when you make an edgy joke as well. I was like, wow, that's too far. I was like, what do you mean? Like half these cards are like the worst shit.
Well, there's the other ones where it's like, there could be a white card down, you're sifting through all of yours, and then you find one, you just start bursting out laughing. That creates an expectation. And then when your card gets read and no one laughs, it makes so many awkward moments because you can't be the only one to laugh because then you'll know that's your card, right?
Or that moment where I've played games where there's moments where I'm just like, I think I've put down a banger. Right, I think I've put down the fucking banger,
and then pick the worst option.
And then they pick the worst fucking unfunniest option that makes absolutely zero sense. And I'm like, I'm done. I hate this. I hate this game on so many different levels. Yep. And just I was in a situation recently when someone like just took it out again, and I'm like, maybe it's changed. It's been years. It's been years since I played Cards Against Humanity. It's been years, and I played one game. I played like two hands, and I'm like, I'm done. This is my breaking point. Never again. Yeah. But I don't know if it's specifically Cards Against Humanity or if I just have an aversion to board games. I don't have like so much an aversion to board games. I just realized that a lot of the times, if there's an option to, let's say you hang out with a group of friends, if there's an option just to like vibe with each other or an option to do something active, like play a game, I would always at a party, like a physical party, like choose just like vibing. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or my brain thing, because I do genuinely have fun playing board games. It's the idea of like ruining the, not the momentum, but like the kind of like the...
But the board game's kind of in the way, right?
Yeah. The board game's in the way. We have fun, but it's like a different kind of fun, you know? And I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing, because if there's a specific board game night, I'm always down, because like there's a expectation you're going to go to this. It's like going to a D&D session, right? There's an expectation that you're going to go to this and you're going to sit down and you're going to play a board game. And I'm like, okay, I can mentally prepare for that. But if we're just at a social gathering, like a party, and someone brings out a kind of game, I'm like, this is just socializing on training wheels. I would rather just socialize with my mates.
See, you can say that because you're a social master, Garnt.
I am not a social.
Well, more of a master than the motherfucker who pulls out Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I feel like it's like an icebreaker for some people. It's like how you like kind of get rid of that tension in the air. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I don't know. But
Oh wow! Wow!
Something all three of us can finally agree.
It's
on.
kind of hard to just say that out loud.
I saw you fighting internally.
I agree.
You surprised yourself with that one.
That was not a hot take. You were like, something that came out 10 years ago, not funny now. Wait, when did it come out? It came out like longer than 10 years ago. Because that's what I only ever played the online version.
The online version, I think, came out in like 2010, 2009, something like that, maybe.
Cards Against Humanity release date 2011.
2011.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a 12-year-old game.
Yeah,
and the humor has not aged since then. So
why is this the top question?
Well, what's the top question?
Is Cards Against Humanity okay for 13-year-olds? And apparently it's appropriate for all humans age 8 and up.
8 and up.
8 and up.
Excuse me?
I distinctly remember, and I feel like it's burned in my mind. It's like the fucking black tar heroin card. I don't know why.
What?
There's just this really unfunny card that I used to always get when I played it. And it was like black tar heroin was one of the prompts. And I was like, this is just not funny.
Oh, one that I always remember is SpongeBob's nutsack. And I'm like, when was this ever funny?
I mean, there's just some random ones that were obviously there for filler. Like, I remember getting a card that was just bees. I'm like, what can I do with this?
There's also bees, like with a question mark as well, that always comes up, and I'm like, when would I use this?
Yeah, what? How can I ever use this card? But
oh no, one card I always remember, which was actually funny, was getting gangbanged by the Blue Man Group.
Wait.
Okay.
Maybe
I always thought that was kind of funny.
I can contest.
You're that motherfucker, Joey. You are that motherfucker.
That isn't funny. I'm laughing at the fact you thought that's funny.
Yeah. When I was 18, I thought that was funny. That's always burned. That one lives rent free in my head.
Oh my god, Joey. God damn it.
Yeah.
But,
no, I agree though. It's I feel like maybe it's like kind of our age, or the fact that we've been in so many social situations and we just kind of want to chill. But like, yeah, I don't have a problem with people like kind of bringing up like board games or card games and stuff like that during a hangout. But I'm like, yeah, I just feel like it's just in the way, like it's unnecessary.
No, I don't mind. It just depends on if the game's shit or not.
Right. But even if the game is fun, I'm just like, well, but like I was having fun just talking to you guys. I was just having fun like drinking, chatting, and chilling. I thought that's the kind of vibe we were going for. Like, if someone pulls out Monopoly, I'm not going to be like, fuck no.
I am going to be like, fuck no.
I will not, because I get super competitive in that game. I'm like, I'm buying out all the streets. But like, if there's a night where it's just like, you're just hanging out, chilling, drinking, and that's how it starts and that's how it ends, then I think I prefer that over any other type of like event happening.
Yeah. I feel like, to me, if you're going to pull something out like that, like the simpler, the better for me. Like, I don't know. There's
like Uno or something, right?
Uno's...
I like Uno.
I do not like Uno.
What the fuck's wrong
You don't
with
like Uno? We did it on After Dark and you were having fun.
Who doesn't like Uno?
Okay, Uno's like fun for like the first 5 minutes, and then you have that game that runs on for like way too fucking long, and you're just like, can this just end?
Skill issue.
it's not a skill issue.
Like you're an amateur. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, you have that game that runs on. I mean, it happened in the fucking After Dark stream where we had that game that ran for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, but that was funny.
You guys were having fun with that? I was like, my mind is melting right now. I feel like I
Too many numbers and colors. What do I do?
I feel like I needed to use more neurons in my brains.
You played DOS?
I have, yes.
What's DOS?
It's the sequel to Uno.
It's so good.
Is that a joke?
No,
No,
it's an actual game.
It's real.
Yeah, it's
You know,
real.
you're like, this is a shit post I'm hearing right now.
No, it's real. It's a real game.
What are the rules of the game?
I don't know. I haven't played it. What's the rules?
I don't know. I was really drunk when I played it. It's basically just like Uno, I think, except like the numbers are different.
You have to say it. It's
Yeah.
DOS instead of
you have to
Uno.
say DOS.
Yeah, you get rid of like 2 cards at a guy or something.
I don't
What's
know.
Let's see,
what's the
DOS
difference?
card game.
I just remember it looked funny. I was like, oh, it's blue. Because Uno's red and black.
yeah.
Complete rules for DOS card game.
Is it? Could they just say if there's a difference? Why?
If Uno means 1, then DOS means 2. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great. Did they really need to make that? Felt like an unnecessary sequel. Felt like Uno was crushing it.
Yeah.
Do we really need another? But Uno Attack I liked. The one where
Uno
it shoots
Attack,
at.
yeah. That was more. That was a bit more gameplay to
I like
the.
that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go. Like Uno, you have to discard your cards by matching the cards in the center, but in DOS, you can only match them by number.
Right.
So the numbers need to be matched first, then only the color is noted. So basically, it's like a harder version of Uno.
Jesus Christ.
That's never going to take off.
Which is like, why do you need a separate game for that when you could just implement
Some
that
people-
role
some
into
people-
Uno?
Some people just think the skill ceiling isn't high enough on it. So that was kind of made it for real ranked gamers. Of Uno.
That's a ranked
It's
Uno.
ranked Uno.
You wouldn't understand. It's for people with intelligence.
Yeah, you need a certain number of IQ to play DOS.
Yeah.
Someone, I'm hoping they didn't put too much effort into making the rules for that because that was obviously never going to. That was never going to take.
I can
off.
see why no one's played this fucking game.
I don't know anyone who's played DOS.
Again, I played it once. I don't remember playing it though. I think I just played it as Uno.
Who bought the deck.
I was in no, you know where it was? It was at the Final Fantasy Cafe. And because next to it they have a board game cafe.
Yeah.
And they had DOS there.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this? And that was the first time I saw
Final Fantasy Cafe?
it. No, next to the Final Fantasy
okay.
Cafe, there's a board game cafe.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Cafe. You want to play DOS?
You can play it in Final Fantasy 14
It's
actually.
like triple triad, right? But different. I get that reference now. I played a Final Fantasy game. I get that. I know.
He finally gets it after you finally completed Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 8.
I did, yeah. I played a Final Fantasy game.
How was it? Did you
It was
enjoy
good,
it?
yeah. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Everyone told me I played the worst one.
How
8?
did you play the worst
Yeah,
one?
everyone said that's the worst one.
Who says it's the worst
A
one?
lot of people told me it's one of the worst ones.
Probably 7 fans said that shit.
They said that. Well,
Yeah.
I the reason when they tell me why it was bad, I was like, yeah, I agree with you. So Final Fantasy VIII is has a traditional turn-based combat similar to the other Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
I assume, except they added this system called drawing. So to get spells, you have to like absorb them from enemies.
That is the worst part of it.
You can't get them, and then your let's say your magic power is assigned to how many of those abilities you have.
Right.
So if you only drain like 2 of those spells, you only get like 2. So more often than not, you just end up sitting there in fights
Yeah.
and just healing your team and just absorbing.
Yeah.
For like ages.
Right.
It's shit. But the game was fun though, and I did enjoy the story. It
Yeah,
was
the
fun.
story-
Did you skip the cutscenes?
You can't. I didn't. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
The story in 8 is
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I've played so many JRPGs in like
That's cap.
because like I let me I should rephrase that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've experienced many JRPGs just because
Name 5.
just because I've had that thing where it's like, okay, we will mission 1, save the dog. Final mission, kill God, go back in time, save 15 people, kill another dog, and then come back and then reset the universe. Like, what the fuck?
That's the greatest part of JRPG.
And I feel like that's every single JRPG I've played. Like that's you always go back in time and kill someone.
Yeah, but
or-
that's like saying like every FPS is just like mission 1, shoot the man.
no,
Final mission.
There is a difference.
Shoot everyone.
There is a difference between just like go to your village and get some flour for the bread, and then go back in time and stab him in the heart. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's why
okay.
it's epic because
Like,
it starts off low and then the expectation builds.
Yeah, but it kind of got like, I mean, I'm sure back in the day, because this was a 1999 game, I think.
PS1.
on the
Yeah,
PS1.
yeah, PS1.
This would have been a mind-blowing experience. But I was like, God damn, do we really need to go to space? Like, can we not?
Yes, the answer is
Can
yes.
we not? Every Japanese like fiction,
Yep.
every Japanese piece of fiction media is like, and now we will end with space.
The trigger effect.
The trigger
It's
effect.
just like, how do we finish this epic fantasy story?
Space.
Anybody-
It's always
anybody,
space.
Anybody
It's
space?
always up
No
in the
objections?
sky. It's
Yeah.
always
Go
up in the
space.
sky.
But I enjoyed it. I thought that, it was decent.
How long
was
did it
decent.
take you to complete?
Of gameplay, 30 hours.
Oh, that's pretty short.
That's quite quick.
That's
actually.
actually
That's pretty. What fucking world are you living in?
well, for a JRPG, for
30
Final
hours?
Fantasy, yeah, that's really
actually
short.
quite quick for a
I thought
JRPG.
you would be playing for at least 50 hours. What the
Yeah.
Did you have any like accelerators on or anything like that? Or
Yeah, the game is times 3 built in on the remake.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
that
why.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
times 3 by all
Well,
of
it's
the.
not always times 3, but
Yeah.
during the, when you're drawing these abilities.
Yeah.
Because when I
I-
played 8 the first time, I took at least 50 hours.
Holy fuck, the walking speed around the overworld on times 3 was like, okay, this is nice. And then I turned it off. I was like, this is unbearable. this is how like fucking Honkai fans feel when they finally discover there's a normal speed. They're like,
Yeah.
wait, why is it in slow-mo?
It's like in Pokemon when you learn how to run finally. It's just like, oh my god, finally,
I
normal
think-
speed.
I don't know if this is like strictly like this game's problem, but another thing that I think a lot of video games do this in general. They assume you have played video games, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when you go on a first-person shooter, they just assume you have played other first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just things that they don't tell you, and they just assume you're like, oh, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Go on and point the gun and shoot.
Yeah.
You know that if this mouse button's to click, we don't need to tell you the other mouse buttons to aim. You know that. Same with the triggers. Like you just like, there's a bunch of things they just think you know. And I realized that Final Fantasy just assumes you know how to do RPG stuff. And I got in this menu and I was like, what the fuck is this? And they start telling you like, press this, do this. And I'm like, this is too much. Stop. So the first 5 hours of the game, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just straight up did not understand the menus because it's too much.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to assign this character this and then
Welcome to JRPGs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
Assigning summons.
They're
as
like,
well.
yeah, and then like they're like, oh, assign the summons. Then what are summons you assign? Allow them to pick from these abilities, and
Yep.
these abilities let them do this. But are you going to pick 3 abilities?
3 abilities.
And then they have abilities that are tied to their offensive, defense, and I guess other offensive. But it's not their other. But they have a completely other stat for like offensive stuff as well. And you're like, what the fuck is this? What happened? What the hell? And people were like.
Yeah, it seems pretty standard to me.
Yeah. And then luckily there was an auto optimize button. So I would just click that. And I was like, it's good enough. And people were like, no, what are you doing? And I was like, listen, I don't get joy
And
out of
you still completed the game, which is the important thing.
That is
I'm
true.
exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Everyone
yeah.
acts like JRPGs are impossible if you don't do like the perfect one frame optimization. And it's like, dude, these games are beaten by like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's not.
I want an auto button for every JRPG, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you have, like, I think Final Fantasy I enjoyed, and towards the end of it, the menuing kind of got a little more fun as I got really into it.
Yeah.
But that was like, I'm talking like 15 hours in.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through the goddamn game before I started getting like, oh, this is kind of fun to theory craft and kind of thing. But I think it's just too much. It's like, I think I spent 40% of my game time in a menu.
Yeah, because I think
It was just too much.
For me, like I've had those kinds of moments where I'm like, there's something magical about figuring out
You're like,
game
what if I do
mechanics.
this? And I tried this combination.
Yeah.
And then this
Yeah.
fight, I hit him with this. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm that type of guy who, in the first, like sometimes, JRPGs, their tutorials last 8 hours long.
Yeah.
You're still getting introduced something 8 hours into the gameplay. And I'm that motherfucker who reads something and then just like
It's gone, yeah,
It's
yeah.
gone. It's gone. Like I'm like, so this does this, and I like see the words and I process it, but then it doesn't like stick with me. I
do that too.
I'm that kind of guy who needs to see like cause and effect.
Yeah,
you know?
I need to try it out. I need to put this ability on, hit
Yeah.
someone with it, be like, no.
Yeah, the amount of times like I've been like streaming like recently, of course, like Honkai.
Like, no, you're not doing the one
I've
frame.
gone a character and I'm like, let me read what the skill does, and chat tells me what the skill does, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I don't get it.
See, I'll read it. And I'll be like, can someone tell me in simpler English? They're like, it's good or it's bad. It goes boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, guys.
Equip it or don't equip
Yeah,
it.
and then I go into battle, and then sometimes I die, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know,
And one thing I've always hated about some JRPGs, and I guess this is the problem, is that sometimes like I was complaining, they give me too much information.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then the bane of my existence, when you're reading an ability and you're like, will cause a slight increase to critical strike chance, and you're like, can you give me a number? Like, because slight could be from anywhere between 0.1 to like 10.
Yeah.
And 1% to 10% is a massive difference here. We're like, this is the difference between this just being a random once in a fucking blue moon one playthrough chance it'll happen, or this will happen fairly often in battle. And I'm like, it's pissing me off that it doesn't. It'll literally tell me the cock length of every character when I choose them and every hair follicle amount they have left, but it won't tell me the goddamn fucking abilities, like actual information that I need.
I think it's because no one's expecting people to use that item as like a crutch for their gameplay. You know, they just think like, oh, it's just like an added bonus.
Right.
If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, hey, it's all right. I got these other shit, you know.
Yeah, like what game was I playing where it was like, if I used, which fucking game was it? There's a game like if I used like, it was like Ring Fit. This is it. Yeah, Ring Fit.
Right.
I was playing Ring Fit, and it was like, if you use a red ability after I unlock this thing on the skill tree, it's like there's a chance it'll cause another free attack. And I was like, chance. What does that mean? What would you consider a chance to be?
You should never ask a guest
isn't
that question.
Isn't that fucked? It's like,
he's going to say 0.05.
I'm like 0.05%.
If you were dead ass in a game, right? It was a turn-based combat, and they said, if you use a fire ability and you have this point unlocked, you have a chance to get another one.
Maybe 10%.
Yeah, what would you? I didn't know what number to magically pull out my ass to like decide what this would be. I thought 10% or 20%, because that's what a chance sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Chance sounds like, listen now, don't get your hopes up, but it'll happen. You know. And so I was like, okay, cool. I went the whole fucking game and I didn't get one. And I was like, that's fucked, because I went through the skill tree to get that chance, because I read it and I thought, that sounds strong. Yeah. Like an extra turn. That's great. Yeah. And then it must have been like 1%. And I'm like, that's so annoying. Or you just got
really fucking unlucky.
Yeah. Either way, I wish that like they gave me a number, and it's like the one time I want a number, they don't give me the fucking number.
But wouldn't it have pissed you off more if you saw that number? And if it was like, instead of chance, if it said like, you have a 1%.
No, I'd love that, because then I can be like, that's absolute garbage. I can immediately not even entertain that.
Right.
Like I can just go straight past it. And there was also, the one thing I always enjoyed, because I did play some JRPGs or RPGs when I was a kid, and I always enjoyed those like weird little, like fun little Easter eggs you could run into, where you're like, go right here and then do this thing and you'll find this crazy boss, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I've had plenty of those. It's fun.
Yeah, it's interesting when you mention like the kind of assumptions when it comes to like approaching a video game or just a video game genre. I remember seeing like a pretty interesting video like about this. The ones where I can't remember the name of the video, but it was the one where the guy got his wife or girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure which one, who has basically zero experience with video games, and got her to play a bunch of video games and see how intuitive like the video game was for this person who has zero experience.
No, they're not very.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not very good.
And you realize how ingrained the language of video games are in your mind, right? Yeah. And it makes me think about just how ingrained every kind of piece of UI or computer is, like, you know, when you're teaching your grandma to be like, how does this not make sense? If you get an error message, it means this, and you have to click this. And just like the simplest thing that you've kind of just internalized, that you take for granted, that might, if you have zero experience with it, you wouldn't know, because we've had a very lucky kind of like journey to be able to see video games, experience video games at their simplest, and be able to, like, I guess, grow up with it and slowly learn the language little bit by little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I remember the first time I think I experienced this was like playing a Soulsborne game, and just not knowing what the rules are at all. I'm like, where are the tutorials? Where is the things that tells me what the mechanics are, where to do, what to do? And I thought, you know, first time I played, I was like, this is shit. It's not telling me anything. How am I supposed to play the game? But, you know, when you realize that sense of discovering mechanics for yourself, and discovering the little things that maybe the devs have put in there that weren't in a tutorial stage, that to me is way fucking better than giving me 8 hours of menus and tutorial screens to be like, you can do this for this and you can do that for that. And I'm not going to internalize that anyway. And I'm like, I'm sure I'll figure it out somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it just sucks. I felt like I figured it out halfway through the game. I was like, okay, I think I get it.
But to me, that's when I've normally figured out. That's normally when I've had that magic moment. I think that's why it always takes me like so long to get into a new video game. Is because I really start figuring things out around like 8 to 15 hours through my gameplay. Yeah.
So
because I'm a story gamer, so
Classic
I never.
JRPG.
Yeah. I'm a story gamer, so I never go in for the mechanics. So I'm like, what are these fucking bullshit things in the way of my story? I don't give a shit about that. Just give me like the auto thing, and then halfway through, normally it's like by complete chance something cool happens that I don't plan for. I've do unintentionally. I'm like, yo, what the fuck was that? That was actually really cool, actually. And then that's when a game goes from a good game to a game like I become obsessed with.
Yeah.
If it can just sell me on the mechanics, like.
True.
Accidentally as well.
True.
Well, I'm gonna play more Final Fantasies. I think.
You're gonna play more Final
next.
Fantasies.
I don't know. I was thinking about the original 7 because everyone says that's good, and I shit on the graphics a lot. So I was kind of like, maybe I should.
The fucking egg beater hands.
Yeah.
No, they look like Roblox characters, but worse. Or that I don't know.
You should play 10.
Everyone says 10. Everyone
play
says
10.
Yeah.
Pete keeps saying 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. 6 is goated.
Because every single fucking old person magazine is like 6 is the best for real gamers because it's the pinnacle of Final Fantasy design.
It is.
But it's on the SNES, and I'm like, dude, it's come on, my Twitch chat, they're like 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe not.
I'm kidding. No. So
They need pretty rough.
it was, I liked it. The story was okay though. I think
Story was okay?
Yeah, because it felt like, I don't know if other JRPGs do this. It was like in the start, it's like, hey, we got the gang. The gang's great. And like halfway through the game, like, all right, only the main characters really matter now. So like, only the main 2. Everyone else is kind of like on the side. That's
10 I feel definitely has a better story. Like the combat system and like the power scaling system as well, like the sphere grid system is like actually intuitive and
Yeah.
it makes 8 look like shit.
Oh man, I'm thinking about that. I was like, damn, I've been playing Fortnite lately. That's been kind of fun. Fortnite's kind of good.
You've been playing Fortnite?
Fortnite's kind of good again.
You know, when
I'm telling you, Fortnite's good again.
When you said your audience were 12, I thought you were joking.
Yeah, I thought you were joking as well.
I got roped into playing a few games of Fortnite. And I was like playing.
By whomst?
By Mouse. Mouse was
Okay.
doing it. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll play one game. And I was like, I'm not playing Fortnite. It's for little babies. I started playing. I was like, oh shit, it's kind of fun though.
I am the little baby.
Oh shit, it's kind of
Maybe I am a
fun.
little baby.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, it is kind of fun. So I'm on the 2 sides of the gamer spectrum at the moment. I'm dabbling my feet in all of it.
Yeah.
This is fun. I've been really enjoying gaming lately, actually. I kind of fell out of it for a little while. I've been getting back into it, and I've been really into it. Just
Did
trying
you
a bunch
fall out of it?
Well, I was only really playing TFT. I hit Master, by the way. Nobody asked. The season ended, but I hit Master, which is crazy because I never hit Master before. That's like the top, not the top, because there's still 2 more. But it's pretty crazy for League. It's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Sick.
So I was happy.
I believe you. Joey's sick was just the most neutral.
It's like-
I'm happy for you, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like peak virginity.
I'm not going to read that, but I'm happy or sorry for you.
I was just like casually playing that, and I was like, cool, that's cool that I managed to do something while casually doing it. Like, not like committing. Not like, I played way more on the tour. So I was like, oh man, I was struggling to get Diamond back then. I was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've fallen in love with gaming as well, or something. You know, I don't know.
For the first time.
For the first time.
A gamer.
Yeah,
What do you
I've been playing Jedi Survivor recently.
Oh shit!
Which-
I didn't expect you to play that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, I really want to get, like I said this on the previous podcast, where I really fucking love Soulsborne games. I just don't like the setting, and I don't like the dark fantasy setting. So despite how good they are, it takes me a lot to get invested into it, because it takes a really good game to get me invested into it. Jedi Survivors is just the setting that I fucking love, which is not exactly Star Wars, but futuristic sci-fi with the same kind of, like, enough of the same kind of gameplay that you'd expect. Not as good as Elden Ring, which is why I think I'm warming up to like finally starting Elden Ring, maybe on stream, because I've really, really enjoyed Jedi Survivor. I've been enjoying that. I've been enjoying the exploration, but one thing, like the one, I wouldn't say downside. Okay, as a gamer, do you care about cosmetics?
No.
Wait. In what way?
Okay, so Jedi Survivor is kind of similar to like something like, you know, Elden Ring or something, where you explore the world. There are bosses and sometimes there are a lot of chests. And what I've realized is that most of the chests, they dropped like lightsaber parts or blaster parts or clothing. And in JRPG mind, originally I thought, great, stat upgrades. Let me just equip everything. Nope, it's all completely cosmetic. And I'm like, who cares about this? Yeah, I'm sure there are people who do.
I do not.
I'm the reason why microtransactions exist, because I only care about cosmetics when it's interacting with other players. Because then it's like, it's important to like, it's like
in an MMO or something, right?
Would I dress nicely if I never left my house? No. Is the answer, right?
Yeah.
Because no one's seeing it, right? It's like that in video games too. I'm like, I want to make sure everyone sees my little funny Fortnite
Wait, but you're
skin.
out of the house. I'm just kidding.
I say that as if I didn't, you know. Listen, I found more skin and I stuck to it.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Yeah. I mean, if I don't give a fuck about single player, I want whatever stats are the highest.
Yeah. Give me stat upgrades.
Yeah, which is why, like, I never understood, like, you know, I'm that kind of guy who has never understood the types of people who, when they start a new game and they see the character creation screen and they get fucking excited, like, oh my God, I get to create my character. And they spend like 3 hours making their characters. And I'm like,
those are people who have drawn their OCs before. That's the same type of people.
Yeah, and it's like half the time the character that you're creating is in like full armor or some shit that you're never going to see in your life, you know?
I see a sliver of their custom eyes I made
It's
for
like,
the armor.
it's like in Cyberpunk where I could pick the dick length. It didn't matter. I didn't even get to see it. I wish there was like a scene that at least utilized it. They were like, oh, you got to
I want to see a cutscene where my OC and his micro cock is just like sticking out.
Like Cyberpunk made the least sense to me because that's a first-person fucking game. Yeah. You don't ever see your character because like 90% of the time because it's like...
I do like it in cutscenes though when your character like looks goofy as shit.
Oh, that's why I like it in GTA.
Yeah.
Because in cutscenes it's fucking hilarious when you're just like rocking up. It's a really serious scene. Just your goofy ass is just standing there. That's the one time where I care. Yeah.
You got like a naked man in like a cutscene. I love that. I love that so much. That cracks me up. Yeah, but then when it cuts and the character's wearing like the cutscene's already been done, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Why do they even spend all this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like for me, just give me the default character. Just give me like the default everything. I don't really care.
I hate it when you get that kind of stuff in chess because then you just turn your brain off to like chess or whatever. You're like, it's all gonna be shit.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be cosmetic garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I've enjoyed it, but I've kind of like, now that I'm like 20 hours in or something, I'm like, I don't want to explore it anymore because 90% of the shit I find is just cosmetic stuff that doesn't matter. And I know there is like some upgrades in the world, but I'm like, this is just like around this corner could just be another chest. I don't know.
Yeah, like, is it actually worth it?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I've also been playing Bloons Tower Defense again. I got back into
I was on my computer and I saw C-Dog VA Bloons Tower Defense and I was like, is Connor streaming? And I went on Twitch and there was no C-Dog VA stream and I'm like, this motherfucker's just playing Bloons Tower Defense for fun.
I had like 40 minutes and I was like, I watched this YouTube video because I've been in that phase again where I got to listen to YouTube videos to sleep. And I found this, it was like a 3-hour video about Bloons Tower Defense. It had like 8 million views. And I was like, oh, I know this is going to be a banger. And that's how I know when essays are good. When you just see like a stupid view count with a weirdly specific topic. Oh, this is good shit.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, I kind of want to get back into Bloons Tower Defense. And I started playing it and I was like, it's kind of good. It is good. It is great.
It's a solid game, yeah, for sure.
Because they just keep updating it. They had so much stuff. It's bad because I'm playing it and I feels like a 5-minute game and I look at the timer. I'm like, dude, I've been playing this for 40 minutes and I've barely done anything. I'm just watching the balloons pop. It's like, it does feel like I'm developing ADHD when I'm doing it. Like I feel like I'm like, this feels like a weird hack on my brain to like magically lose time. So I've been trying to get it on second monitor, but it keeps loading on my main monitor.
See, I can't laugh at that because I've also recently just casually gotten back into playing Minesweeper again.
No. That's very active. That's not like Bloons Tower Defense. I can just press play and then I'm like looking at
who casually says what motherfucker comes in?
This guy.
I says I just casually go back into Minesweeper.
I just casually go back into
what?
Well, because like ages ago when I was still streaming, I did that, offhand stream where I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play Minesweeper, and I ended up playing it for like 5 hours. I beat expert once during that entire stream. But then I was like, I could get a better time. And so last couple of days, I've just been, whenever I have time, I just put some music on, like put something on the record player, and I just fucking fuck.
I don't want to ever hear it from you that you're busy now.
Fuck.
I don't want to ever hear the excuse that you're busy.
Do you know what I just realized? So it's been 2 weeks since the last Trash Taste recording, since I had like a week holiday. Is this the type of shit we get up to when we have no Trash Taste recordings in a week?
Hey. I have made sure that I've been busy, but occasionally have like an hour, you know?
I have to.
And then normally I would play TFT, but I stopped because I reached master and I'm like, no more.
I was waiting for a business call. It was 2 hours down. I was like, what am I going to do for 2 hours? Fuck.
You played for 2 hours? Yeah. Holy fuck.
That is not a casual amount of time.
That's a long time. I was doing like 30 minutes of Bloons.
It's a good game.
No, it's not.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like those kinds of game is just like the equivalent of watching TikTok with Subway Surfer at the bottom. You know, it's just a way just to keep your mind engaged.
Yeah. It is. I was like, my brain could just like rot on the couch doing nothing, or it could stay active and young by playing Minesweeper for 2 hours.
Yeah, because I never really got how the kind of rise of idle games came out. Like, was like Cookie Clicker or whatever that game was. Like, I never like, to me, I never understood how that became a genre.
Well, I think that like, it's like people want to do something else, and then Cookie Clicker, you have to actively do it in the start, but then you can just kind of watch it.
Yeah,
and so it's you know, it's like how you would, you know, you'd watch a TV and talk to your friend back in the day. I feel like it's just evolutions of that, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's just our brain getting more scattered.
It is. I feel like it's just like something hacking in our brain, because I thought it was like dumb until like Honkai Star Rail released this event recently where it's like a museum management thing. It's not museum management. All you do is you click buttons, and then you see numbers go up, and then you have to get it so every number is S rank. And then I realized that I wasted like 2.5 hours.
Dude, that's just a Yakuza side quest. that's literally the stockbroker game in Yakuza that you play.
Yeah, probably.
You just click some shit and you watch your stocks go up.
And I'm like, why am I doing this right now? And why can I not stop? Why can I not stop? Something is going wrong with my brain right now.
To be fair, I jest, but that was the best part of some of the Yakuza games. Those like fucking like business management side quests where you just click some shit and you watch it grow. Goated. Yeah,
all I'm doing is watching some numbers get bigger, and the more numbers get bigger, the more resources you have to make the bigger numbers get even bigger, and then it's like the gameplay loop of big numbers equal bigger number, and more big resources equal bigger number, and then it's just and then it doesn't end. I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing this, but I can't stop. Because I need to see bigger numbers.
It's eternally satisfying. That's a YouTube mentality right there, bro.
I mean, yeah,
we do that with our sub count as well. We're just like, more, keep going.
That is just YouTube in a nutshell, bro. This is what Trash Taste gets up to when we don't have a Trash Taste recording, apparently.
Gamers, this podcast is brought to you by Cash App. With tools for saving and spending, it's the best place for you to level up your money and glow up your life.
All it takes to pay someone is their phone number, email, or cash tag. You can even scan their QR code straight from the app. Not only that, you can keep track of your coin with your balance updated immediately, so you always know when a payment went through.
Oh, so you can pay me back now easily, right, Joe?
Yeah, totally. What do I have to pay
easy.
you back
What do you
for?
mean? You have my phone number, email, and my cash tag.
Yeah, totally.
Not only that, you can save on everyday spendings, get exclusive discounts with the Cash App Pay and Cash Card, and not only that, but you can bank the way that you want. A simpler, faster way to bank without so many fees.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 16 recently, and I've learned the joys of leveling up in video games, but I wish I could learn the joys of leveling up in the real world as well with my spending habits. That's what Cash App is here to do for me.
So if you're like Joe and you want to level up your life, you got to level up your money. So download Cash App in the App Store or Google Play with the link in the description down below. And with no hidden fees and a free-to-order debit card, it feels like a cheat code for your finances. So do it. Download the app down below.
Back to the episode.
But you're going to be happy, Connor.
Why?
Finally watched John Wick 4.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
In America?
Yeah, in America.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch John Wick 3.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You rose it up and then pulled it right back down.
I will say, I don't really think it matters because that implies that the plot in John Wick actually matters. Which
okay.
I'm gonna say it doesn't fucking matter.
Oh my, yes it does. The plot is fan. You don't even know why. What the fuck?
It's okay because Didus was like, we're watching John Wick 4 now, and I was like, I haven't just seen John Wick 3, and he's like, I don't care. I'll just explain everything to you. And he explained it all in like 2 sentences.
Didus probably doesn't even know what happened. Didus is terrible.
He probably didn't even watch it. He just guessed.
Yeah, I don't know.
You probably don't even know. Oh my god! Like there's so many. Like the starting scenes are all like the fucking backstory to what happened in the previous movie. The reason why. Oh my god.
I mean,
okay, listen, you can still enjoy the movie, but like you're missing out on some pretty good story. It's not the best, but it's great, man. You the whole friendship between fuck my god, man, you just ruined it.
I've never seen Connor this lost for before.
You could have watched a 10-minute summary on YouTube before you went in.
I had Didus with me. He was my 10-minute summary.
I love Didus to death, but that man cannot explain plot.
He's like a 10-second summary.
That man cannot explain plot.
No, because every time something relevant to like the previous films happened, he would be like, he would literally like pause it and be like, okay, so this happened.
Oh, you didn't watch it in the cinemas?
No, we
fuck?
We watched it on like home cinema stream.
Yeah.
He would just pause it and just explain everything that happened, and everything he was explaining, I was like, that's really useful information that I don't give a shit about. I just want to see people shoot the fuck out of each other.
Let's tell what your verdict was first before we get more.
What was your verdict? John Wick 4 good?
God,
yay or nay?
I think John Wick 4 had the best action I've seen in a fucking long time. The action scenes were absolutely fucking stunning.
If you say but, I'm going to kill you.
I did not think it needed to be 3 hours long.
It needed to be 5 hours.
I felt fatigue after the first.
What the fuck? It's because you weren't invested in the story.
Okay. Here's my biggest gripe with it. Okay, here's my biggest gripe. Okay,
I wanted it to be longer.
Okay, if we're gonna like talk about the story, right? There are some things where I just like could not wrap my head around.
Okay.
Donnie Yen's character. All right,
Yeah.
Donnie Yen's character. So I didn't know coming into this that he's a blind guy, right?
You fucking see he's blind. He's not in any of the movies.
No. I mean, I didn't know coming into this movie that he was going to be a blind character.
Okay.
So I thought that he was going to be some like fucking daredevil kind of character who could like sense everything based on like his sense of like sound or something. And in like the first scene, it becomes very obvious that, oh no, he's actually blind and it doesn't help him at all. Right?
No, why would it help him? It's not. You think being blind gives you superpowers? You watch too much Marvel.
He's seen too much anime, bro.
Yeah, I've seen.
He's like, no, he's gonna pull out the One Piece hockey anytime soon, bro.
So what I couldn't get my head around was, okay, are you blind and goated, or are you blind? Are you just a blind person? And there are so many scenes that flip flop between the both because he's still fucking Donnie Yen. He's kicking ass, and then there'll be points where he's just like, are you dead? I can't tell. I can't tell. And I'm like, how is this guy still alive? I don't get it. How is this assassin still alive?
There's like scenes as well where he's like trying to find the gun and he can't find it.
Yeah.
That's good though. Like that's like, I don't want him to be dead.
So what you're saying is he's a little bit too inconsistent.
Yeah. I just like I like consistent.
Disabled enough.
Okay.
I just wish he was more blind.
No. All I'm talking about is with suspension of disbelief. Right. I love batshit crazy things, right? Yeah. But it needs to make sense within the logic of its own world. If something doesn't make sense within the logic of its own world, it's just like a pinprick in my brain where I can't ignore it. And just like I was going into every scene being like, so is he a blind man or is he like a Jedi master? No. I was like, sometimes he's a blind man, sometimes he's a fucking Jedi master, fucking feels the force, does all that shit, and I'm like,
is he blind or is he just?
I thought it was pretty consistent. I thought it was all right.
And and I like campiness, the cheesiness of John Wick. There are some points that were just like a little bit too far for me at some points in this, where I was just like, okay, this is
which parts, such for example.
Well, don't spoil too much because I started seeing it.
Okay.
A little bit. You can a little bit.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know what's a spoiler and what's not.
It's okay. Like, I mean, it doesn't have that much of a plot. Let's be honest. The main villain of John Wick was the most cartoonish kind of like villain.
Yeah, he was great.
He was like way too fucking cartoonish. He was just like,
it.
let's just make that you just like that because you just like seeing a Frenchman getting fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the British in you, man.
It makes sense within the. I mean, this whole world is kind of like cartoon.
Was he like a Bond villain or something?
He was like a Bond villain times like 100. He was like,
it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's like he's like evil for evil's sake, but it makes sense.
Does he have an evil mustache?
No,
he doesn't. But although I wouldn't be
enough.
It makes sense within the world, though, in the rules. You know.
Yeah, that
he broke the rules.
I think that was the thing that bothered me about John Wick 4, because as you find out more about the rules of this assassin world, because in like John Wick 1 and 2, it was kind of like a surface kind of thing where it's like, oh, this cool thing exists. These are what the rules of the assassin worlds are. And you're like, okay, that's enough of a background thing where I can just focus on the action. But what I found with John Wick 4 was that it was so like, it was way more ingrained into the plot line. And then
I had that like third movie to kind of transition you into.
Probably. I mean, I still don't think I missed much.
You did miss
I'm going to watch the third movie.
You gotta watch
and
it.
I'm gonna be like, okay, so he hates this one. That guy betrayed that person.
You missed so much in the third movie.
And he got another dog.
So much.
Sick.
No, but like what bothered me was there were just like little inconsistencies I found within the logic of its own world, where just some like I'm all for suspension of disbelief, but there were just some things where it just took things a bit too far when there was more focus on it. That just I couldn't ignore it as much anymore.
I love how you're going so in depth into this, like probably more than any reviewer. And Connor's retaliation is nah.
Nah. It's just full cat. You didn't watch the third movie. I can't believe that, dude. I can't believe that.
But
what if Connor's actually right and the third movie is like the most plot heavy?
The third has a lot of plot.
I'm gonna watch a third movie.
There's a lot of plot that happens in the
I'm
third
saying everything that Didas was explaining to me was just like, okay,
I think the fourth
that person betrayed that person is friends with that person. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
John Wick, shoot.
The fourth has like the least plot. Like, because he has like barely any lines in it. He barely says anything. He has like 200 words in the whole movie.
I mean, that was also consistent with like the three other movies I've seen.
No, there's more plot. No. The third is very plot heavy. I can't believe it.
Again, I've only seen the first one, so I don't know.
I've seen like 3 out of the 4 John Wick movies, and I can remember like 2 lines that he's ever said.
You're like JoJo part skipping right now. The John Wick fandom is not happy. You skipped part 3.
Like
I can't believe it.
It's like skipping the second Lord of the Rings film and being like,
we're not going to compare John Wick to Lord of the fucking Rings. Okay, this is
what I'm saying is, you could obviously gloss over shit, but you're still missing important plot points.
Look, I don't watch John Wick for the plot. I
watch John Wick for the plot.
Fuck
the
me.
action is a side bonus, quite frankly.
Shut the fuck up. That's so cap.
I don't watch it for the like amazing Oscar-nominated writing of John Wick, whose line includes and
I love it when he says I get chubbed.
I
mean, likewise, but it's not a plot point. It's a kind of
Okay, actually, the one scene that bothered me. One scene that bothered me. The fucking there's a scene with a literal fucking James Bond villain where they play poker together, and this is really
I love that scene.
It's this really badass scene where they play poker together and the stakes are meant to be high. The poker game means fucking nothing, because they're like, okay, so the winner of the loser of the poker game has to do X, or has to do, I can't actually remember the stakes of the poker game, but I remember it being high stakes.
Clearly it was
and then they go through this like 20-minute long scene of
It's not 20 minutes. Fuck off. It's like 5 minutes, God.
Like they go through this long scene of just a poker scene, and then they just start shooting each other anyway. So I'm like, okay, so the poker meant nothing.
It's not House of Cards, God. It's John Wick.
Like you could have just shot the bad guy immediately and just foregone this.
Well, I mean,
poker scene.
they have to create like suspense, right? They have to be like, oh, okay, is he actually gonna like play by the rules this time, or is he gonna be John Wick and just start guns a-blazing? Turns out he's John Wick. Why am I defending this movie? I've never even
Joe, you haven't even seen this movie.
seen it.
Yeah, but like, why are you asking for like civilized political discussions in John Wick? Like, you know that was going to happen.
No. I'm like, why are you?
Like, I feel like you're comparing this scene to like,
You need some build up. I can't just have him run up in a place and be like, all right, pew pew.
I mean, the thing that bothered me was just like, why are we pretending? Why are we pretending to have a plot here? Why are we pretending that this means anything?
Build up.
Like I said, John Wick 4
That's
has.
like saying, like, did they really need poker in Casino Royale? Like, did they? Come on, they could have just. They didn't matter in the end. Like, you need that. That's like, what the fuck? It's like we should just remove all dialogue from films. Let's just like.
I feel maybe they added that scene because after 4 movies. And, you know, many different scenes and situations of John Wick shooting like, shit. They're probably just like, all right, we got to change it up. We've done a building, we've done a house, we've done the streets, we've done the club, we've done every other place. Where have we not shot guns at yet? Poker game. And they just threw that in. I guarantee that's how it was chosen.
I love that fight scene, though.
The fight scene was fucking insane.
All the fight scenes.
All the fight scenes was so good. Oh my God. The thing that bothered me wasn't the fight scenes. It was just like I said, you know, I could turn my brain off for the first and second one. The fourth one, because there were so many more moving parts in the first and second one, it was just noticed too many like internal inconsistencies with its own logic in its world, and that just kind of like took me out.
I disagree.
I feel John Wick is just like the live action God of High School.
No.
Where it's just like the fight scenes are epic, but what the fuck is this plot?
Disagree.
Disagree?
Hard disagree.
John Wick has a better plot?
Yeah, way better. God of High School literally doesn't have a plot.
Sounds like John Wick.
No, I'm so fat. I can't believe you skipped the I can't believe you proposed the idea of John Wick 4 and you were like, I haven't watched John Wick 3.
Actually, no, I didn't purposely skip John Wick 3. Didas just like refused to let me not watch it. He was like, we're fucking watching John Wick 4 together and you're sitting down. I'm like, I haven't seen the third one. And he's like, I don't care. You are.
You realize he just wanted to watch it and he wanted you there.
Yeah.
So blame Didas.
Yeah. I'll take it. But do you know, like watching John Wick 4, do you know what it made me miss? And do you know what I realized is kind of
John
like
Wick 3.
Yeah, you watched John Wick 3.
Funnily enough, not John Wick 3. I don't know. Is it just me, or has there just been a decline of, you know, old school martial arts kind of like films, right?
Because it's hard.
What do you mean?
This like, it's hard to train for that. Like Keanu Reeves was trained for fucking like decades in doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that it just doesn't look nearly as good as John Wick.
Well,
then,
yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah,
of course. I'm not just like talking about John Wick because Keanu Reeves did train the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
He made a fucking banger film. I know. I'm like, this is me nitpicking John Wick 4. None of these criticisms actually matter.
You better have caveats.
But yeah, it made me realize that the last real martial arts movie I watched was probably The Raid 2, right? And that was how many fucking years ago now? I remember back in the day.
2017?
Yeah, I remember back. Yeah, that was
2019.
It felt like such a long
never
time
seen
ago.
that.
You haven't seen
Maybe.
it? But, you know, back in the day, there were so many different martial arts flicks coming out, but there hasn't been just a rising star of just a martial arts film, you know, main character. Like, you know, we had Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, you know, Tony.
I mean, I feel those are very hard names to live up to. Right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're legends.
Yeah.
Who else? Jet Li as well. There used to be just so many, right? And so many different martial arts films being made. And there just doesn't seem to be any coming out right now.
It's like swings and roundabouts, right? It's like, you know, you get every now and then you'll have like a fantasy period where everyone wants fantasy. Then there'll be superheroes, and then it'll be space, and then I think it'll come back around. I think it's just not. there's just not.
Not the
I don't
right
think.
time.
I don't think people are really that interested in martial arts right now, unfortunately, and in a broader scope.
So
I think a lot of people like who are really into that kind of stuff are like, I would rather watch UFC or something.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to this with Didus, and he was like, "Yeah, UFC has just killed martial arts films." I'm like, I don't know if that's true, because
a little bit. I think because there's always that discussion like, who would win in the fight, Bruce Lee or Donnie Yen? You know what I mean?
And then Joe Rogan comes along and he's just like, well,
scientifically, Donnie Yen had eaten more elk meat and done more DMT, so it's highly likely that the frogs are gay.
Scientifically, you bring a MMA fighter in there, and he wipes the floor with both of them. It's been proven every time. You bring an MMA fighter to a kung fu master, and the MMA fighter wins every time.
I do think there's a little bit of truth in that, where like I think a lot of the I don't know, maybe I don't know. Like I think it's more. I don't know. I also don't. I felt that there are not many good movies coming out, martial arts movies, and I also just don't really care about it much right now. Kind of like, whatever.
No, I mean, watching John Wick, I was like,
that's basically a martial arts movie hidden under an action movie.
That is a martial arts movie where guns are the martial arts.
Yeah.
Right?
What do they call it, like gunjutsu or something?
Gun kata?
They called it something. They had like an on-term set.
Yeah, it was gun kata, which
like gun karate.
No, I can't remember, but it came from, I believe, Equilibrium, the film with Christian Bale.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the term kind of originated from. And, great movie where they kind of made cool-looking things. I've looked way too deeply into this because I'm like, I fucking love martial arts films. So I'm like, where did this come from? And, there was this fake martial arts in Equilibrium where it was like, it was meant to make it so that the way you move and the way you are angled makes you less likely to be hit by bullets while also optimizing how you can fire a gun. Would you think about it for a second? And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. But also you see some of the scenes in Equilibrium and you're like, I don't care that that's bullshit. That's awesome.
That's epic.
Yeah, that's fucking epic. Yeah.
But when I watch UFC, I'm like, when I've seen it, I'm like, I actually just don't want to see two dudes nearly kill each other. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I see it enough on Twitter. So
I think that part of my like medieval bloodline kind of just left a few generations.
I'm
back.
civilized now.
Yeah, I just kind of. I'm sure there was a time when we had nothing better to do as a civilization where I kind of got something out of that. But like boxing, I've seen, and I kind of weirdly in my brain, I'm like, this feels a little bit better, even though it's just people giving each other brain damage.
Yeah.
Watching UFC, I'm like, this is a little too much for me. I'm like, these people look like they actually being killed sometimes. I'm like,
I mean, they definitely went into the trouble of that.
Yeah, I'm like,
the risk.
I'm okay. Like, this is just like not it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go back to watching.
I'm just gonna play Street Fighter.
I'm gonna watch the League of Legends professional. Maybe I'm a beta male. I don't know. I'm just like, I just don't get joy out of seeing dudes beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I've been on Twitter enough.
Yeah, honestly, you see it on Twitter every day.
I mean, I do find some. Sometimes I see a UFC clip and I'm like, damn, that's fucking bad.
Absolutely, like athletes and they're amazing at what they do, but for me, it's just like I'm good.
Yeah, the compilation of like level 1000 IQ moves by UFC players is like that stuff is like, all right, that's kind of sick.
Yeah,
when they like flip accidentally or like any cool thing like that. But just a regular match, I'm just like. I'm not really invested, and two, I don't want to see people getting hurt.
I saw this clip the other day, and I don't know why it came up on my thing, but it was a UFC fighter who was having like an asthma attack, and he was like, get my inhaler, and it's like mid-fight, and then the guy asked him like, is it okay? He's like, yeah, it's FDA approved, and he takes it, and then afterwards, I guess the guy, I think his name is Dana White or something, he's like, yeah, so actually, he wasn't allowed to take that. That's actually an illegal substance. You absolutely cannot take anything in the octagon.
What?
And I was like,
because it technically counts as steroids, right?
I don't know what it is. I'm like, dude's having an asthma attack, man. What do you want? What do you want him to die? Like, what do you like? I don't think he was trying to get an edge. I think he was just trying to breathe, bro. I don't think there was any like adrenaline in there. I think bro was just trying to live. To me, I'm like, do we really need a sport where if a dude's having an asthma attack, we have to be like, absolutely not. He needs to suffer. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay.
It's like, I'm having kidney failure. Help. It's like, sorry, you're in the octagon. Can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
You got to throw the match if you want to get traded.
Yeah, I mean, like boxing fights, right? Like if you're getting beaten the fuck up, they just call it, right? They're like, stop the fight.
Yeah.
In UFC, it's like, oh, you don't get to stop the fight because you're dead. You've already been knocked out because of how violent the sport is.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm good. Like, and I get it. If you're into it, I'm totally fine with that. I think that's literally just a me personally thing. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes you see knockouts and you hear the
bad,
you hear the and that to me is just like God damn. God damn.
Oh, he is dead.
I heard that from here, man. His ancestors fucking felt that. God damn, man.
And the people I know who are into UFC, I feel like they're a little too much into UFC. For my, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. They talk about it.
I have never met a UFC fan.
I have
personally.
I've had some friends who are into it, and they're like a little too into it. I'm like, why are you so invested in this?
Yeah, I know quite a few people into UFC as well.
Really?
When someone's a little too invested in seeing someone like beating the fuck out, like two dudes beating each other up, I'm like, that's a little.
Oh no, I think there is because I think there is that caveman part of your brain.
For sure.
But from what I found, the people that are really into UFC as well, there's that, but there's also like, there's two different ways to view a game, right? There's the haha, who won, haha, it's football, ball go in the goalpost, haha, we cheer, and then you get to like the deeper level where you start appreciating it as like an art form, just like, oh, there's the meta game, there's the tactics that are involved in this. And for the people I've known that are into UFC, most of them are also doing martial arts as well.
Yeah, that
or
makes
doing
sense.
some form of martial arts.
That makes sense.
So there is an appreciation on just the art form as well. And then you get to see someone knocked out. You're like, yo, let's go. God damn.
My balls are expanding from the amount of testosterone.
Maybe I'm just a beta male.
Yeah.
I can't appreciate it.
Oh, you're a league player, so.
Yeah, that's true. And a Bloons territory.
And a Bloons
player.
But no, please, Hollywood, whatever. Hollywood or Asian cinema, give me more action films, give me more martial arts films. I miss that shit.
We're not getting any more, Garnt.
You could always just go back to like the back catalog, right? Because like in the 80s and 90s, there was like I feel there was so like 80s and 90s.
What you said is just copium. I don't want copium.
You literally just said like, just don't ask for anything new. Fuck.
Just don't ask for anything new. Just go back, watch all the old shit, and then you can complain.
Yeah.
No, but I've watched Kung Fu Hustle so many times now.
Yeah, there's only so many times I can watch Kung Fu Hustle and be like, this is goated. And I'm like, I watched that when I was like 20 or some shit like that. Or way younger.
I think Donnie Yen is actually still producing some in China. I think he's still like producing. He just did a pretty big epic, but I think he used a lot of. I'm not a big fan of the whole
China, bro.
I'm not a big fan of the martial arts with the wires. I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not too. I prefer more grounded martial arts as well.
He's trying to because I watched like a GQ or whatever it is, one of those interviews, and he's trying to make like a mix of superheroes. Mixed with martial arts, and I'm like, I'm good.
The martial arts.
Yeah, because I in terms of like the martial arts genre, that was a genre I never got into as well. Like the whole
doing 7 backflips in the air.
Yeah, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, all that stuff. Even though there are some beautiful fucking scenes.
Good.
Huh?
Hero's pretty good.
I mean, it was beautiful, but I will never take Hero over something like Ip Man or something.
Yeah, but Donnie Yen versus Bruce Lee, and
that's pretty
Hero.
high.
That's pretty fucking good. That is Hero, right?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Donnie Yen fights Bruce Lee in Hero.
Isn't it Jackie Chan?
No.
We think of the same film. I'm pretty sure Bruce Lee is dead.
No, sorry, Bruce Lee. Sorry. Fuck.
He fights a hologram of Bruce Lee.
I meant Jet Li.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Jet Li.
Yeah. Donnie Yen versus Jet Li. I was like,
oh my god, yeah. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
Did you get your 2 Asian martial arts actors mixed up?
Why are they both Lee? God damn it. Yeah, Jet Li versus Donnie Yen. That's pretty good. And Hero. That's like an amazing fight.
Yeah, that is an amazing fight.
I don't remember.
Probably the best fight of that.
It's like right in the start. It's like the first dude with the spear, and it's really good. That's really
God, the cinematography in that scene is insane.
And they did that. They did like 80 takes as well.
Yeah.
It's like crazy amount of takes they
Damn.
would do. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
they were dedicated.
I mean, it's getting rarer for to have these big martial arts kind of like superstars. You need that martial arts training.
Hearing like what some of these dudes had to go through when they were starting, like it was all like off script. There was no script. They would just do shit. And they would just make shit up, and they would get thrown off buildings, thrown into glass, like set on fire. It's like, all right, now we're going to throw you in acid. And it's like, oh, okay.
All right, now that you've broken your spine in 3 different positions, we know exactly what we're doing.
It's crazy. When you see some of the stunts like Jackie Chan did, and you're like, holy, like that one of him falling
Yeah, the
through,
police
like-
story where he's so there's
He's
a
like
stunt.
electrocuted.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
like,
through the lights?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit?
Through all the lights.
Oh
and
my
then there's
God.
one where he falls out of that like kind of like Spanish, like old style looking town through like the tops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
8 of them.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying. I mean, the level of unhinged is just crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I mean, there's like very few, let's say, actors that still come in with that mentality.
Steven Seagal, the goat.
Okay.
He comes in with the mentality, let's get it done, let's make a film.
Actually, I kind of miss campy 80 action films
No,
as
I don't
well.
miss Steven Seagal.
I don't miss Steven Seagal. Do you know what?
You know, he like when in his movies when he does them now, he makes them like sign agreements saying that he doesn't have to stand up.
What?
He films all his scenes sitting down.
Why?
I'm serious. Let me show you. Like, I don't know because he's lazy as fuck. And there's like, have you seen the interviews where he's like, yeah, when Bruce Lee was dying, they called me first, not the ambulance, to ask what to do. And he's such a fucking psychopath. Steven Seagal sitting down in movies. Let's see what comes up. I feel there was like a thing where in every single thing Steven Seagal movie out for a kill is so lazy he sits fighting. How much do you think Steven Seagal sits in his movies?
Wait, so all of his fight scenes are sitting down?
No, I think in the movie there was one where he was just sitting down during a fight scene. I think he sits down in most of his movies.
Right.
Like, that's how fucking lazy this guy. He's also just an asshole.
I haven't heard great things about him.
Yeah. Do you know a movie I rewatched recently that is
Not John Wick 3.
not John Wick 3? So I forgot how fucking goated this movie was, which I don't think is actually goated, but it was as enjoyable as I remember it being. So there's a Street Fighter live action film.
Oh my god.
It's so good. Holy shit.
Why? Why are you watching
Why
this
is it? Okay, because Street Fighter 6 released recently.
Yes, I
and
know. I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm
so
aware.
I got randomly recommended I went down that rabbit hole, randomly got recommended a clip of the live action Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Holy,
Yeah.
I was like, this was really good when I was like 10. I bet it's not as good rewatching it as at like 33. I rewatched it and goddamn, it is so shit. It is so campy. It is so cheesy. But oh my god, it's such a banger.
That is definitely your nostalgia goggles talking, bro. Like,
That movie sounds ass. I don't even need to watch it.
I mean, it is awesome.
it is arse, but it's the perfect amount of arse that it flips around and just becomes so fucking entertaining. when you stop taking it seriously, it is one of the most.
I mean, I never took it seriously.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
I haven't seen
It
it.
sucks.
Dude, M. Bison is this is okay. Let me the reason it's so good, right? Is because this is what happens when you have the shittest script known to you have the shittest script known to man, but for some reason, every actor gives 110%.
Yep.
Every actor just
They were not paid enough, bro.
no. Every actor fully encapsulates and fully sells the script, even though it's the shittest script, the shittest lines of all time.
Yeah.
For some reason, every actor showed up and was just like, boys,
I
I'm giving
love
it my
Street
A game.
Fighter.
Boys, I am giving it my A game. And I'm just like, normally you see films like this and you're like, okay, obviously the actors are calling it in. No actor in Street Fighter called it in. And I'm like, this is
Everybody else did.
everyone else did. And it's just so much fun. I don't know why that film works. I really liked it. I'm going to defend that. I will defend the live action Street Fighter.
I want to hear someone's opinion of them watching it for the first time with like no nostalgia goggles, right? So
Right.
I think that will truly see if it actually stands up to the test of time. Like you've never seen anything about it?
No.
Okay, I need you to watch it so we can get like a fresh opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unbiased opinion.
It is-
because I feel you and I only enjoy it because it's nostalgic for us.
For reference, it is rated, I believe, 4.4 on IMDb.
It's a shit film,
What the fuck?
but it
What's
is
the plot?
entertaining.
What's the plot? What's the point of the movie? What are they doing?
M. Bison is basically a terrorist
Okay.
trying to take over the world.
Yep.
So that
He's the main character, Guile.
Guile's the main character.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's played by Jean-Claude Van
Jean-Claude
Damme.
Van Damme.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
my favorite American.
The best. That's the thing. The best American.
Couldn't they get a real American like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and all of your favorite characters are in it.
Yeah. They're certainly in it. That's about it.
This is Chun-Li.
Chun-Li is in it
Yeah.
as well. Chun-Li's like a spy or something.
Yep.
Yeah, and they try to take down M. Bison together, and then, spoiler alert, they do.
I saw a tweet that was like every single country in Street Fighter got like some form of weird skewed representation of like a stereotype, you know, like Guile's like this American military dude.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Russian dude is, like the big
Zangief.
Zangief.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know, Chun-Li is like this, you know, like a this fighter and whatever. And then they're like, yeah, for Brazil. This fucking gremlin that is just fucking electricity. And it's like, how is that representative of Brazil? Like, what are you trying to say about Brazilian people? They're all like fucking street goblins.
Blanca?
yeah, like Blanca, right? Like he's like all fucked up. And
I completely forgot he's from Brazil.
he's from Brazil. It's like, what the fuck? They predated the Brazil memes. I just read it and I was like, yeah, that is kind of fucked up when you think about it. Like, even like that, like every other country got like kind of a really weird, jarring stereotype, and then they were like, oh, Brazil, fucking gremlin, fucking Blanca, goblin ass, malformed, not even a fucking human being. Like, it's like, what the heck?
Damn, they did him dirty.
Yeah, when you think about it, you're like, this is kind of fucked up. Like,
This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when we first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, we thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using the service, it all makes sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly onto you.
I recently just actually used Mint Mobile when I traveled to America, and I needed to buy an American SIM, and I just couldn't find a place to buy it. But what came to my rescue? Mint Mobile. Genuinely had no problems in America when I was using it.
For anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family. And at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/trash. That's mintmobile.com/trash. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/trash. Back to the episode.
I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing now. I just kind of miss the kind of old school action scenes, and I think John Wick awoke something in me where I was like, "This
There
is."
woke something in me. I want to.
My dick specifically.
I want more. I need more. Bro, if you're not chubbed up in that movie, you aren't watching the same movie.
Oh my god! Look, okay,
Dude,
Just admit you want to fuck Keanu Reeves.
look, I was chubbed up.
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie.
that fight on the stairs was
Holy shit,
godlike,
it was
dude.
so good. No,
And when he tumbles down the stairs, I was like, no.
the gamer scene. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, dude, that was so
the
good.
gamer scene. Oh my god,
That was so good.
I was
Yeah,
so
I need to watch
chubbed
these
up.
now.
I was so just watch the fourth one.
It's just like,
I'll skip 2 and 3 and just watch 4.
it's just like when they made that movie, they were like, they must have known that no other movie is going to be able to compete. They were just like,
I mean, no one has.
all movies are cancelled after John Wick 4 until John Wick 5, I think. Like, there's just
Is there going to be a 5th one?
well, they actually they teased they were. I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll
Is there
talk
any
about it.
plot left?
No, I don't think so. But they,
Oh, perfect. There will be a 5th one then.
yeah, probably.
You're implying there was a plot there originally, Joey.
that's- what I'm
They,
saying.
for some reason, I saw they announced that they were doing it. And I was like, what? I don't know if that's Twitter bullshit, but I was like, that
It's
doesn't.
going to be a 5-hour movie.
Well, either way, we're getting a bunch of prequels and stuff, and
Yeah, that wouldn't
sidelines.
surprise me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the John Wick franchise to die.
I'd love to know more about the universe, which you said didn't exist and was shit.
I
And
you know,
had a
I
thing
thought
on it,
I thought I did, and then I did, and I was just like,
The Assassin universe is cool.
it
It's
is
just cool.
It is a really cool like idea. Like conceptually, I fucking love the idea of this assassin universe where the rules of their they operate within their own rules of their universe. But like, it's kind of like. For me, it's kind of like kind of like similar to horror. The more you find out about something, the less scary it becomes. The more I find out about the assassin universe, the less the less
Mysterious.
interesting and mysterious that it is, and the more that I'm like poking like holes in it, and like, why is this a thing? You know, why do things work like this? This makes no sense. Okay, so yeah, that was a big thing. But I would love to see more John Wick. I would love to see more action movies. And
You can, Garnt. It's called John Wick 3. You're yet to watch that one.
yeah, I'll tell you what else I've been doing as well.
Okay.
I don't know why I've had so much free time recently. It's weird. It's mysterious.
Okay.
I've been reading manga as well.
Ooh.
What is that?
I've been doing a Joey.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
What have you been reading?
I've been reading a manga called The Climber, and
Okay.
it's, I think, a fucking masterpiece. Actually,
Here we go.
like
Gig video
I'm
IRL.
like an actual masterpiece, and I don't know how I would actually do
Is
a
it a
video
new
on
one?
it. It is not a new one. It is a pretty old one. Koko no Hito. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I have read the first couple, I think, of that.
Joey's read everything. That's the thing
Sorry?
about Joey. Joey's read everything in existence.
Joey has read.
Joey's read
everything.
your birth certificate.
Yes. I've read the first couple of volumes.
Okay, so it's like, let me tell you, it's the best sports manga, but it's not really a sports manga. It's the best sports manga I've seen since I guess sports media I've seen since Ping Pong the Animation. It is not it's an anime about someone who discovers like rock climbing and free soloing.
Okay.
But it's not about that at all. It's got a really interesting story behind the story as well, because the first 3 volumes of this manga is your typical like shonen, sports shonen bullshit kind of thing. He like enters this tournament. He's like he has like high school rivals, and then so what happened is that about 3 volumes in, the writer, so there was originally a writer and an artist team up, and the writer just left. The writer, for some reason, just left, leaving it to the artist to come up with the story. So around about 3 volumes in, it just completely shifts from this stereotypical shonen sports manga to this like life manga, and it's
See, that was the point I dropped it. So that's why I haven't. This is why hearing this part is the first time. Because when I read it, I remembered it as just, it's a rock climbing manga.
Yeah. And so there's a few manga that I've read that has made me feel such like deep emotions as The Climber has. And okay,
So when the writer left, it got better.
it got better.
So when the dude stopped hiring the guy and just did it himself, he just started making better
It's
stuff.
like, wow, maybe I'm goaded.
Yeah. Because
Fine, I'll do it myself.
yeah, because like, slight spoiler, not really a spoiler, but he just basically just like stops the high school bullshit, puts in a time skip, and he's just like, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
That's
already.
what we want to see.
Yeah, he gets out of high school, right, and really starts to follow the arts of rock climbing properly, and properly tries to like he not only like falls in love with rock climbing, but it really uses rock climbing as a metaphor. This sounds so fucking pretentious, but like that's kind of why it's so good. It uses it as a metaphor for his own personal troubles and shit that you hate people for and you hate society for, because one thing that I think was genius that the artist one genius thing that the artist realized about rock climbing and free soloing, right, is so the basis of the final plot is that he wants to climb K2, which is the second highest, hardest mountain to climb in the world. So there are plenty of climbers that have died while mountain climbing, rock climbing, Everest, K2, whatever. And so what he used mountain climbing, like a mountain climbing team for, is he realized that no matter what, you can't pretend to be someone you aren't when you're in a life or death situation on a mountain, right? So when people are in a life or death situation, when your survival depends on your team members and what they decide to do, whether they leave a man behind, whether they go out into a snowstorm to try and find some shelter or some wood or something to help the team to survive, you see people who what they really are, the raw people beneath all of the bullshit masks that they wear in society. And that leads to some of the most like hardest hitting moments and fucking amazing panels I've seen in a manga. And I did not come into it expecting that from a fucking rock climbing manga. It is honestly, I think this manga is a fucking masterpiece, and I've not heard a single person talk about it. So I am talking about it now. If you want to see, if you want to read something that I think is a really, really fucking underrated manga, that has some of the best art I've seen in a long time. Like,
I'm sold.
I feel that's the problem with like a lot of mangas, that like, because there's just so much out there, so much especially that hasn't been animated, that, you know, obviously there are anime fans and there are manga fans, but I feel right now the anime fans are kind of in the forefront talking about all the shows, whereas the manga fans are there, but they're not as, the spotlight isn't put on them as hard. Right? So there's more instances of people finding these like super unknown yet super amazing manga series that no one talks about because I feel the spotlight is not on them.
Yeah, I just get stressed out knowing that so many manga are ongoing.
Because this one's ended. This one's
it's ended. Okay,
finished.
good.
Yeah, I
like
saw
that.
this one's ended.
See, when it's ended, I'm like, okay.
17 volumes, I think.
Okay,
17 volumes. Yeah,
that's a hefty amount. That's
a hefty amount. I mean, I can't.
It's
Here's the thing. Okay, I kind of realized this after reading The Climber, which is obviously I know in my mind that manga and anime are different. I thought my medium of preference was like anime, but reading this manga, do you ever read a manga and you're like, there is no fucking way this could ever be a good anime, right? And it kind of made me realize, this is going to sound like really pretentious like art student talk, but reading something like The Climber, it made me feel like the difference between a manga and an anime is a manga is basically like a one-person team, right? And there's something about the visual storytelling you can feel when you turn on a panel and you see amazing artwork. There's something you almost feel like a connection to the artist or to the writer.
Well, it's like looking at a painting at an art museum, right? Or just like, this was knowing that this was made by one person and like everything about this painting derives from this one person's mind that it came from.
Yeah.
And when you see like a painting that like really connects with you, you almost feel like, oh, I understand what this person was thinking. I understand what kind of person whoever created this thing is, right? So like it makes that connection extra special.
Yeah.
Like, and I totally get that because like with anime, it's a massive team. Right? There's lots of different people involved, including the creator. So I feel it's a little, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a lot more difficult sometimes, no matter how good the anime is, to have like that type of personal connection.
Yeah,
right?
because this doesn't apply to every manga, only like the goated manga where I'm like, holy shit, I'm reading something that's making me feel emotions that few media have been able to make me feel, and I feel like this is something that the author is telling me personally, not anyone else. This is something that he's trying to communicate with me. Because like, the other example I can think of, right, is Vinland Saga.
So good.
Vinland Saga is goated in both anime and manga form.
Oh, another episode today.
Yeah, we got another episode
Tuesday.
today.
Vinland Saga
It's one of the few manga that I feel has gotten an adaptation that is.
Oh, it's so goated.
That is goated and faithful. And then I think back to my experience with the Vinland Saga manga, and I think back to the experience with the Vinland Saga anime, and it's weird because it's like a subtle difference. But in the Vinland Saga anime, it almost felt like it almost feels like there's the fourth wall. You know what I mean? There's the fourth wall. I'm watching a piece of entertainment and I'm appreciating the story, but it felt like when I was reading the manga, I was like, holy shit, I'm actually feeling what, you know, Makoto Yukimura is like trying to tell me. And I can't really put it into words, but it's like a different kind of like appreciation between manga and anime.
I think you just described why so many people love manga.
I think I get it now.
Dude, Vinland Saga anime is going so hard.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Vinland Saga, other than it is absolutely an amazing piece of media, and you should watch or read it, whichever. They're both amazing, and you'll get whatever. Is my most favoriteest thing coming out of this is everyone being like, maybe violence isn't that good in anime. Maybe less violence, you know? I've done so many video essays that have been like, Vinland Saga just said no. to violence, and that's kind of cool. How do we feel about that, boys? It's kind of like how like I've seen more people. Because in Vinland Saga, right, there is a big tonal shift in the second part where violence kind of, like in the first part, violence plays a very big factor. It's kind of glorified, it's kind of cool, it's very hype. And the second part, there's like, they kind of shift it to be like just extremely oversimplified. They're like, violence, bad, not good.
Yeah.
And I've seen like the ratio of comments, people actually complaining about the second arc to people complaining about people going to complain about the second arc is insane. Like I cannot find a single comment of someone saying, actually I found one or two. Yeah. Like people saying this arc is boring, nothing's happening. Yeah. But I find so much more comments who being like, people just can't appreciate this. They're going to call it boring. I'm deep because I get it. And it's like, shut the fuck up. No one cares. It's a good show. Everyone knows this is good.
Yeah. Hello, I am that person. Yeah, no, because okay, here's the thing. I think a lot of people expected that. Just because that was kind of the.
I mean, I expected that. I pissed myself. Yeah, I expected that too. I thought people were going to be turned off by it.
It's funny because I've seen a lot less negative comments in regards to the anime. Because when the manga started, a lot of people just ended up dropping it because they're like, "Oh, this is boring now."
You know? I think knowing that. Even though it is still like half a year until like kind of a bit of violence happens, in terms of anime runtime, I think in the manga it'd be excruciatingly long. If
well, in the manga,
you were really hoping for
and in the manga there was no like back reference, right? Like no one could go to an adaptation because this was the original source material. Whereas the anime, all the manga fans are like coming out of their like bunkers being like, "I'm telling you, it's good. Just wait. Stop complaining."
It's so good, man.
Yeah, like how we're talking about this after martial arts and John Wick and UFC. Maybe violence isn't the answer, guys.
Oh, I mean, I say that as well. And then I immediately finished the Vinland Saga episode. I'm like, all right, time to watch Hell's Paradise. Where it's just indiscriminate violence.
Yeah, that is just like violence 24/7.
And I'm like, this is great.
I fucking love Hell's Paradise.
I literally went from Vinland Saga immediately to them watching an episode of Hell's Paradise, and I was like, this is literally what they told me is the problem, and I'm still doing it.
Well, I think it's because it's just a different part of your brain.
Oh, it's such a different. Yeah,
but here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. A story like Vinland Saga is going to stick with me. It's going to stay 100%. With me for years to come. Hell's Paradise, as it is now, I'm going to forget about it. Like in like 2 years.
I'm still really, I fucking love Hell's Paradise.
I'm enjoying the shit out of it, actually.
I think Demon Slayer, more like Snore Slayer, because it's so boring. Nothing's happening. I'm like 9 episodes in. I'm like, can something happen, please?
Yeah, I like Hell's Paradise because they don't fuck around.
Yeah, shit's happening all the time.
In Demon Slayer, they just fuck around so much. I'm just like, just get to the part where everyone is going to start creaming their pants.
We can have a 10-hour conversation about the nuances of Vinland Saga, but also Hell's Paradise is nailing that part of my brain that's like, ooh.
I agree.
Ooh.
I agree.
People are dying.
It is the best, like, just turn your brain off. Yay, violence.
Yeah, I saw your stream where you put it in A tier above, and then you put like Oshi No Ko and S. I was like,
okay, I agree with that though.
No.
Why don't you agree with that?
Dude, I've been watching all of Oshi No Ko and I'm like, oh my God. It's for me, it's like cringe watching it.
Why?
The whole like terrace house arc, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah. I was like, this is...
Wait, why was that cringe?
Oh, because the dude's like... Like the moment where I had to when you stand up, you're like, what the fuck? I was like, when he like, there's this whole like kind of terrace house, like, and if you don't know the terrace house, there's this whole situation.
Reality romance show.
It's a really unfortunate situation, and it was, where a contestant was on it and they ended up like unfortunately committing suicide from all of the mean comments, and the show kind of did like a weird kind of parody of it. I didn't really like. And it was kind of like, it was super fast. It was like, boom, you're on the show. Boom, you have hate comments. Now you want to die. And then she tries to die. And then the dude's like stalking her, I guess. And is just ready to catch her. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What if she didn't do it? Is he just following her this whole time? What the hell is this? This dude's a freak.
That was the anime moment.
Yeah.
And that was an anime
moment. I was like, and then this dude magically... I'm sorry, dude. If you gave me 15 more lives, I would not become this much smarter. I'm going to be realistic about it. This dude became like gigabrain, 10,000 IQ, social media. The bro is a doctor. I'm like, this is so dumb.
Are you a doctor?
No. And if you gave me 4 more lives, I wouldn't be a doctor. I wouldn't be a doctor.
So that moment in the anime, so there is a high school version of Terrace House. So it's like
Which is also like, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like,
Yeah.
why are these 16-year-olds on a dating show? And like, I was just like,
Yeah, but shows like that in Japan exist.
I know they do, I know, but like, it was so corny and so on the nose.
I thought it was.
I thought it was really well done.
I thought it was a really well done.
Yeah.
episode.
There's few, like, normally when I see, let's say, anime and manga. And,
Younger.
I was gonna say manga. I was gonna say media, and I went manga and media. Tackle like internet's kind of like culture.
Oh, I think it does the best job I've seen. But
Yeah.
there's still some moments where I'm like, oh, that's cringe.
I feel like you say that because you are
Yeah, for
inside
sure,
the,
for sure,
inside
for
the
sure.
industry, you know, so you know how things like really are.
It's just how like there was also like another thing where it was like when the Terrace House episode is where I really started to get pissed off. I was like, oh my, all of this episode just feels so stupid. And they were like, actually, don't worry, no need to kill yourself. We have editing. And it was like, what? What? And they were like, everyone's gonna love you now. And she's like, no, I don't want to kill myself. And it's like, what is this? What do you think? Mental illness is just an editing problem? Like,
I mean, for the TV stations,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I don't think it's a mental health
like,
thing.
let's make and it's like, let's fix it. Do a TikTok dance. Let's film it and let's get it going. And
I think it's I got something totally different because what I thought was genius about that kind of arc was just to show how fickle the fucking internet is, which it is.
Yeah, and I appreciate that was what they were trying to show, and I understood that. But I guess it was portrayed in a way, and maybe it was because of the breakneck speed they went through all this stuff.
Yeah, they went through it pretty fast.
I was like, whoa.
It was definitely more fleshed out in the manga.
Yeah, because I remember this arc in the manga lasting a little bit longer. It did feel pretty fast in the anime.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, oh, I remember watching the episode and I was like, oh, we're getting to this arc already? We're getting to that part?
Yeah, and I think that was also a problem with it, is that they were introducing these ideas and they were running through them so fast, and they were trying to get this character arc believable for this girl who, you know, because she gets online hate in this one part, we're supposed to believe that within like just the time frame that we're flip-flopping sides so often, and it's like, what the fuck?
No, I totally understand that, but I feel like the ideas that he tried to portray were like still there, which is why I still really...
You know, we've interacted with the Japanese entertainment industry in various ways, and it is very different to how we operate. And obviously the agency having way more power is a thing.
And also Japanese hate comments being like...
Oh yeah, that's
10 times worse.
Oh, for sure. Japanese hate comments
disgusting.
are intense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just when I was watching it, I guess it was a mixture of how it was rushed, and I guess because again I kind of work in that field.
Yeah.
I work in that. I don't fucking do work. I play video games. You know, it's kind of interesting. It was like, damn, all I had to do was do good editing and make a good video, and everyone loves me again. Damn, if it's that easy.
I mean, for some people, that is how it
kind
works.
Of is that. Think about how maybe some people get uncancelled sometimes. All it takes is like the perfect apology video.
Yeah. You just need the one well-crafted video, and your reputation goes back up.
And I guess sometimes that does happen. Like that has definitely happened online, but there's so many more cases of like that not being the case, and it's never that straightforward, and it's like, oh, this was a shit apology video.
But in the episode, the YouTuber character in that show explains that.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I wouldn't recommend you do this video because it could backfire. And I'm like, okay, you know, they're touching upon the realities of the internet doesn't forgive as easily as you
obviously
think.
It's like dramatized because it's because
it's a
fucking anime. Obviously it's dramatized, but I appreciated that they were saying things, and I'm like, yo, that's kind of legit.
That's
kind of legit.
Yeah.
That's kind of legit for how things work. It's a bit more dramatic than what we're used to.
It was super dramatic, and I guess that they were trying to keep that, like, show the dramatics of it, but then also not commit to it, because he magically turns up from stalking her, I guess, and saves the day, that was weird, right? Like, he's like following her in the street.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's a freak. Like, I do not like the main character. Like, I actually
don't like the main character either.
I fucking hate this guy so much. He's fucking weird.
He's like Walmart Light.
Yeah, oh my God, I can't stand him. And I think that's part of the reason why I can't stand the show, is that like I do not care for him, and the only reason I watch this goddamn show is because the opening is a banger, and it convinces me that maybe the show will be good for 5 minutes.
I like it because of the idea that it presents and the like topics that it explores. Yeah, I agree with you. Main character can be
is the least enjoyable character. Yeah.
Why do they have to be a goddamn fucking basically an isekai? Why couldn't it just have? Why couldn't there just been someone likable? God damn it! Why do they have to be reborn?
But yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying Hell's Paradise, but it is very much turn your brain off.
Oh yeah,
kind of fun. Yeah. And there's only so much I can enjoy turn your brain off kind of things.
I think it unlocks that part of my brain that really loves the kind of anime trope of people. The thing that kind of Terraformers gave me too, right? It's like you get to this new world where no rules are similar to the world where you came from.
Yeah.
But we have these dudes who are pretty competent, and we can kind of see how they can survive and how they learn, because they learn with you. And I really like that. Like I think you mentioned as well one time, it's like the Dark Continent arc of Hunter x Hunter. It's like exploring a brand new world with these fucking weird monsters and everything's, no one gets anything.
I love that feeling. Yeah, it's like that feeling of despair that the characters feel. Like, oh my God, we have to go up against this shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and there's like a scene where there's like, it's not really, I guess it's light spoiler. Like there's this dude's just walking, and then he feels a prick on his hand on this weird land. He just immediately chops off his hand.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, that's fucking sick. It's so surface level, but I was like, it's true. He didn't know what it was. He was like, this fucking feels weird. I'm doing it. I'm cutting my hand off.
It's just something about watching a bunch of like fucking unexplainable badasses
so sick,
just doing badass things.
So sick.
It's just like, this is sick.
It's just like the rule of cool. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I don't need to think too much about this. I just worry about how much of a shelf life it can have, because
nothing. But
it can be like really boring after like one season or something.
But I think right now, apart from Vinland Saga, it's probably the show I'm enjoying watching the most. But I'm only watching like 3 shows. So
yeah, there's a lot of good
fucking
shows.
Demon Slayer is so boring. I hate watching Demon Slayer this season. I've decided.
I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, Demon Slayer tried. I think the problem with this season of Demon Slayer is that what made Demon Slayer great was the action, the really cool animation, the action. And then this one was like, oh, let's have a bunch of flashbacks to focus on the characters.
It's like Demon Slayer, like, you know the fucking meme of that kid with the vine, the vein popping in his head? It's like Demon Slayer trying not to insert a flashback challenge. It's like you should take a shot every time. You should watch Demon Slayer. Take a shot every time there's a flashback.
I think I'd die.
And I feel like there was one flashback recently where the flashback actually lasted longer than the fucking fight itself.
I got so pissed off with that one.
I was like, Naruto all over again.
Like, Demon Slayer, we didn't watch you for the characters, okay?
I want to spoil something in the new season, because this thing pissed me off so much.
Okay.
And it was like, and I don't know why it pissed me off. It was during the flashback of the Hashira of the guy that we're with this time.
Yeah.
And basically, I guess to make him like kind of have a whole arc and learn something, they just figured out the best way to make a character learn something was to just make him have a twin, where he's basically just his twin suffers all the consequences, and then that's his arc, is that he learns from his twin. And I was like, they just made another him to make him learn the lessons.
Isn't that a Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors thing?
I think so, yeah.
With Bart's evil twin. Yeah. It sounds exactly the same.
It was like, oh, he learned all of his story arcs with no, like, I guess there was consequences. He lost his twin, but it kind of felt like they were just making all the punishment happen to his twin so that he would learn. And it was like, that's a weird, like, did you just figure, what the fuck?
I just thought it was.
And also the demons they're fighting are so boring.
Yeah. Okay. If there is another fucking high level demon who does the fucking Uno reverse card.
Oh my God, I'm sick of the Uno reverse card.
Like, oh no, my head is chopped off. Wait a minute. He's not dead. And I'm like, motherfucker, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. This is like the 5th fucking time this has happened.
The fact that the Demon Slayer characters still get surprised when they cut the head off and they don't die is like, they're like, ain't no way. I chopped his head off and he didn't die.
I'm more surprised now when they chop a head off and they do die.
It's like, oh shit, that worked!
Oh my God, what? First time? Actually, first time?
Call up the Hashira. Bro, sorry, for real, I chopped his head off and it died. You won't, I'm like, ain't no way.
You won't believe it.
I mean, it's so, oh my God. It's like Demon Slayer has become almost like a parody of itself. like in a weird way where it's like all the rules they set just don't fucking matter anymore.
So I'm gonna say this. This was recorded when we're at about episode 9 or 10.
I've only watched up till episodes like 8.
Guaranteed by the time this episode
Everyone's
airs,
gonna change their mind. It's gonna be like, this is the best anime of the season. He did a fucking backflip with CGI.
We're gonna get another episode 18.
Exactly.
And everyone will be like, never mind, this show is gold.
Exactly. The thing I've learned about Demon Slayer is that
it is a 10 episode handicap.
Yeah,
Where,
yeah,
like, the 10 it is the most boring show for 10 episodes until it becomes good.
Yeah, and then for some reason, like it's literally like that Rock Lee meme of just like take off the training weights.
Yeah.
This is like the first phase where he's fighting Gaara, and then every season I'm like, Demon Slayer shit, this is boring. And then like you get into the last 3 episodes and the training weights are off, and you're like, holy shit, this is goated. Oh my god, that was so hype. And then we repeat the cycle all over again.
Yeah, they know when to give you the cocaine. You know? It's like, not now. Wait, you just get more and more frustrated and you're like, all right, take a line now.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm still watching it. I still probably enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, this talk has definitely not motivated me to start watching.
Listen, the thing is, like Garnt said, I think the moment that episode comes out, then everyone will be like,
I'm going to wait till the
watch.
season is over and confirm that there is another episode 18 moment, and then I'll watch it.
Well, it's like in the last arc, right? That the fucking, when they just went insane with it. It was oh, this kind of, I would watch fucking 10 more episodes.
Actually, I think the last arc was the most consistently best.
Great. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, because there were so many hype moments in that arc. I think that arc was the outlier because
also that Hashira was fucking fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was just a delight on screen.
Yeah.
This Hashira, fucking snooze fest.
Yeah, and also like actually like seeing this was like midway through the previous arc, but it's like just seeing Nezuko kick ass for the first time, you're just like, oh my god, it's not just like a cute little anime girl, you know, you can actually do shit.
You're actually useful.
Yeah, you're actually useful. But I think this most reminds me of something like Mugen Train. Or where I was like, this is boring. Holy shit, this last fight is hype. I think it's most similar to something like that.
The only thing I remember from Mugen Train is that last fight.
Yeah, right.
The first hour and a half, I'm like, what happened again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he dreamed or some shit, and he almost died in a dream.
You could literally skip. You
fucking
could skip the first like the 4 episodes of Mugen Train.
It's literally like comparting into my mind where I'm like, I don't remember this.
No.
What happened in that film? And what happened in that film?
I honestly thought, because in this season as well, again another spoiler. So far. Fucking Zenitsu and the ball kid, I forgot his name.
Yeah, Inosuke.
Yeah, Inosuke. aren't in it. And I'm like, theoretically, Zenitsu's not there. It should be good now. And it's like, oh no, this show is still boring.
Oh wait, Zenitsu's not in season 3?
No, not yet.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
Theoretically, it's because
I'm sure he might show. I don't fucking know. He might show up. And
it's
be
because
ruin everything.
Instead of being annoying, the Hashiras are just boring. That's the Hashiras. I mean, the fucking girl, I can't even remember her name. She's just there she's just there for the fan service, man.
Kandoji? Mitsuri?
She's not even
Mitsuri.
there. I'm like episode 8. She's not even showed up. She showed up like one scene.
Yeah, she's had like one scene, and I'm like, oh, you're there for the horny teenagers.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Yeah.
I understand why you're there.
Gotta have one.
There's always
one.
There's always that one. But no, I mean, like generally, the anime has been pretty fucking great this season.
Yeah, I want to watch more. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, same.
That's a lie.
Is there anything else that's good this season that we should be looking out for?
What you want? What do you
mean? Just tell me anything. What's good? What's great? I'm not watching Gundam.
He's not gonna watch Gundam.
I've just decided no matter how good Gundam gets, I'm never gonna watch.
I need to finish.
He's not gonna watch Gundam, but Gundam has reached that phase where it's become Gundam again.
Okay.
Where it's just like, oh, here's every war crime imaginable being committed in one season. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, they're just covering Japanese history. That's good.
Break the Geneva Convention speedrun.
Oh yeah, are you watching Mashle?
What?
I've read the manga. I've
what?
Magic and Muscle.
Oh no, I wanted to though. Is it good?
I think you'd enjoy that.
It looks like a show that I'd love.
It probably
got One
is.
Punch Man vibes, right?
Yeah, it's One Punch Man. It's basically just One Punch Man or Mob Psycho.
Oh, that sounds great.
In Hogwarts.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, basically this gym bro.
I've seen the synopsis.
Yeah.
I wanted to read the manga, but I was like, well, I heard the anime's coming out, so
The manga's good. Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I will actually watch that one.
Yeah, that's one definitely for you. What else would you like?
You ever getting another Made in Abyss? Kind of want to see what kind of fucked up shit.
Well, I mean, he has to
write the
manga.
Right. That's right. Fuck. Okay, what else?
Yeah.
What else is
Okay, this one's on a maybe so far because I don't know if you'd enjoy it. I'm waiting for the season ending to see if it's worth your commitment.
Okay.
Heavenly Delusion.
Okay.
Which is at the moment is one of the most promising anime I'm watching.
A lot of promising anime out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of promising anime, but it really depends on how it ends. So I'll come back to you in 2 weeks.
Okay, tell me in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll
come back to you.
This is sounding awfully like wandering priority right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't end the same way.
Hopefully it doesn't end the same
If
way.
I've learned anything from anime, it's that having a banger first episode is the easy part. It's sticking the landing.
Yeah,
It seems hard.
No, because with a show like this, so the kind of basic plot synopsis of this is that it's a post-apocalyptic world. Something has happened to the Earth.
All right.
We don't know what. It's one of those shows where it doesn't treat you like an idiot.
Great.
It will show you a little bit of lore, a little bit at a time, and you have all these different elements that you don't know how they're all connected. There are monsters that somehow roam the nights, killing people.
Oh, I saw your. Actually, I'm a big fan of the Giga channel. I watch the whenever he uploads, I watch. I think you showed the bit of this, and I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, and like there's like for some reason there's like a disease like ravaging humanity. There's like some reason there's doppelgangers that exist in the world.
Oh, that's sick.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And slowly but surely, it's starting to like make sense the more episodes go along.
Right.
But it's not there yet at the big, okay, this is what's actually going on. So that's what it depends on. But in terms of the production values, I would argue that it's probably the highest production value show airing right now. For some reason, it's almost like movie level quality.
What the fuck?
Some
No
points.
way.
Yeah, it's like Chainsaw Man level without the CG.
Okay. How many episodes left till it's finished?
So it is about 3 episodes left till it's finished.
Okay.
And yeah,
Wet my whistle.
Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. It's
Cool. Okay.
it's very, very good. Everything else I don't think you'd be interested in.
All right.
Even though
I'll go
I know Connor's taste, and I'm like, you wouldn't like any of this stuff.
Yeah, Mashal, I think. You'll enjoy Mashal. Yeah.
Mashal was great.
Well, thank you so much for some more anime recommendations, Garnt. I'll keep you updated on the Demon Slayer hate. See how that's going.
No worries.
I kind of had the urge to catch up on My Hero, just to be like, because a lot of people gave me shit for being a hater and not being up to date, and I was like, I might do it just to be,
That's what I did.
Just so I can
Was it
confirm.
worth?
Huh?
Was it worth?
It was not worth. I think. I don't know. Okay. Season 6 of we've shit on My Hero a lot, but season 6 has genuinely been the best season in a very long time. There is no high school bullshit in season 6.
Okay.
Deku goes through his edgy phase and gets more interesting.
Cool.
I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that looks like something's happening.
I really like him in Fortnite.
Yeah. It's like the author of My Hero is just like, do you know what we need? We need like Tokyo Ghoul vibes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is so cheesy, but for some reason, I'm kind of invested again.
It works, man. It worked in Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching this episode.
Hey, look at these patrons though. They're probably watching anime this season.
You sound so exhausted when you say that. Thanks for patrons.
These are patrons though.
Hey, let us know what anime you're watching currently and what you would recommend down in the comments. But if you like to support the show, then head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter. Send us memes on the subreddit. And if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify.
This has been a very interesting episode of what we get up to when we don't have Trash Taste recordings.
I found out a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Nothing. Minesweeper, apparently.
Minesweeper, yeah.
Doing that when I get home.
We'll stop bullying you. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.